We are live, folks. It is 9:30 on a Tuesday night, so it is time for you to go behind the hedges. I'm your host, Mitch. This is my partner, Matt. And man, it's time, Matt. It's time. I am so freaking stoked. Here we are.
After what felt like an age that could have made up another book in the Bible,
Yes.
College football is back.
Yeah.
I feel like we went through an epoch.
Bro,
I felt like there was a disaster and something God needed to come down and talk to us about and make us wait on something. And now
it has been such a long summer. My children took over the basement. I'm going to have to reclaim my space, and I think that that all starts tonight. What do you say? Let's get busy.
Let's do it.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work, I got vision, I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be.
Hey, if you're listening to us out there in dog land, make sure to give us a like, a share, a follow, a subscribe, leave us a comment, all that kind of stuff. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, and we are on YouTube. So if you're watching us, tell a friend and bring them along next Tuesday. We're going to be here. We're going to be here until...
You ain't got nothing else better to do on a Tuesday night than watch
you ain't
a couple
got no
of dog
job.
idiots run their mouths about Georgia football.
Man, let's run them. Let's run them right now. What in the world
is there to say? Did you just do a Smokey reference? Did you just do a Friday reference?
I believe so.
You ain't got no job. You ain't got shit to do. And y'all don't.
Hey, Robert's here.
What it is, Robert?
Hey, man. I just wanted you to know. I joined I took the Field of Streams group the page over and joined a Georgia Bulldogs group on Facebook, and I posted our video in the group. I might get kicked out of the group. I don't know, but hopefully some folks will see it and they'll come in and visit with us. Would love to meet some more Georgia fans always. There's Bill Ducati. Hey guys, let's get the season started. No kidding, Bill.
I'm just ready.
Yeah, and thanks for stopping by, Robert.
Here's how I feel. We've talked and we've texted and we've come on the show a few times in the dead part of the off season and made predictions and what about this and what about that guy and what are they going to do if this happens? That shit's over with. Right. I just want to see the dogs play. I've been all over the map with what are we going to do this year? Y'all going to fall off a cliff? Are y'all going to just take a few steps back? Are y'all going to be better? I've been on all of those places. I just want to see it now. They're kind of in show me mode. I'm not necessarily flapping in the wind, but, I think we've made predictions. Those predictions have changed. People want to know, what's Georgia going to look like? 15 guys in the draft, 5 of them in the first round, all on defense. What's the defense going to look like? Is the offense going to carry? You know what, though? You know what I realized? And I went and looked it up before we went live. I looked up all of the hullabaloo, all the write-ups, all the expert opinions on Georgia coming into the 2021 season. Do y'all remember what was being said? They said, this defense is questionable. But thankfully, Georgia has JT Daniels and that elite offense who will carry the team, we think, until the defense finds their legs.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Lots of legs and not much JT. Hey, I want to answer a question real quick, Matt. Robert says, "Hey, watch Reek play out wide. You know what I'm talking about." Yeah, I frankly love it. I love it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, our tight ends, you can split them out. You put them all over the field. I mean, they're just receivers. I've been listening to all the requisite podcasts and shows, for as long as they've been out, and everybody's saying the same thing. This tight end room is legendary. All right, there is no. Oh man, whatever Todd Hartley is making, give him more than that.
Sure.
All right, and then give him more than that. Right, because the man is worth it.
I think I said it on another show. I don't remember whose show I was on. Florida man got all confused. He was like, "Who are you going to rely on when you have to put the game on somebody's shoulders?" And I said, "Tight end room." He's like, "Well, that don't make sense. That flies in the face of conventional wisdom." Bitch, please. Everything Georgia did last year. Everything Georgia did last year flew in the face of conventional wisdom. We have a walk-on quarterback. We had defense in the age of offense. You can't win without offense. You got to be LSU. You got to be Alabama. You got to have a Heisman quarterback. No, That ain't the way we do it.
So it's like that quote I keep bringing it up from the Princess Bride. It's like you're only saying it's impossible because nobody's ever done it before. Right? Then Robert says, "You think we'll see 14 personnel? Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't we?
And I
Why?
think you'll see it the way it's rare. I mean, it's been used rarely before. The Patriots are the only example come to mind. They went in the red zone, they put it on the field, they scored a touchdown.
Yeah,
Really, that's what it's about. I don't think you'll see it over and over and over and over again because Monken brought up a good point. Todd Monken said, yeah, that's all good and fun to talk about. And yeah, it's a thing, but you do that too much. And all of a sudden every receiver's in the portal. Like that's already a danger. That's already a thing. You don't want to add more fuel to that fire. But yeah, I'm going to say to our opponents and our critics and the non-believers, I'm going to say two things. If you're going to get us, you had best get us this year. Because I think we're going to be all right. That's just me. Next year, Georgia's going to be hell. That's number one. Number two, you better hold us out of field goal range. You better shut us down out of field goal range. Like, you better keep us on our side of the 50. Because I'm here to tell you, if we hit that play and get within striking, the red zone, let's just call it what it is. If we get in the red zone, that's when you're going to see that 14. And I don't know, what are you going to do? Not Nakobe, almost said Nakobe. Nolan Smith was interviewed yesterday, and they asked him about these tight ends, and he just kind of he just did one of these. He was like, man, first you got to cover Eric, and then you got to fight Darnell. He said you got to fight with Darnell, and then you got to try and catch up to Brock, and then Delp's out there making circus catches. He's like, man, he said, Coach Monken's having a field day, quote, end quote. Coach Monken's having a field day, quote, end quote.
Look at this. We've got a tater in the house. He says Eric's split wide, Ladd in the slot, Darnell tight, and Brock to the short side. Hey, fine. But don't forget, there's A.D. Mitchell, Dominic Blaylock,
Karis Jackson.
Karis Jackson,
old man River,
Marcus Rosemy, Jack Saint Jack. I mean, dude. There's weapons. There's weapons everywhere. So the thing,
Mitch, hold up. What about Kenny Mack out of the backfield in the wheel route?
Oh,
what are you going to do?
What about Kendall Milton, man? What about? Shoot, we ain't even mentioned Branson Robinson's name yet, right? Or Dejon Edwards, right? Hold on just a second. I just want to say this. You brought it back to the beginning of last season and how everybody said, "Hey, the offense is going to carry us," and we just know about the defense. And then suddenly it was the flop, right? Like the defense carried us, and we didn't know about the offense, right? But here we are again saying the same things that we said last year. Are we going to see the same thing, or are we going to see something different this year, or are we going to see both at the same time?
I think you're going to see here. All right, let's get real because now we've beat our chest for a few minutes, but we're also about substance. We like to tell the truth here, even though we're Georgia fans and we're homers. I think you're going to see an improved offense. Now, improved off of where were we? What was our offense ranked last year, Mitch? It's not like we had a bunch of Falcons.
I think we were 7th with 38-ish points per game.
That's another fall. That's another fairy tale. People are like, "Oh, Georgia got no offense." The statistics don't agree with you, gentlemen and ladies.
Mm-hmm.
We were scoring points. It wasn't everything we wanted, but it was everything we needed, with the exception of one game. So I think you'll see an improvement on that. We did not have this tight end room altogether. Darnell Washington was out with an injury. It was the Brock Bowers show. Let's be honest.
Sure.
Reed Gilbert left the team for personal reasons, didn't play a snap. Oscar Delp was still wherever the hell he was before he got on campus. We had one tight end.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick, I think, was still blocking here and there. And poor old Brett Seether and Ryan Geode. Y'all don't know who those names are, and there's a reason for that, and you never will. Those are two more dudes in that room. I'm just saying, I think you'll see an improvement on the offense. There's just an embarrassment of riches, and I think this year with consistency at quarterback with Stetson and the guys he's got behind him, there's no doubt there's a structure now. And the reports coming out of camp, man, this ain't me. This is just the reports coming out of camp, okay? Out of all three camps, spring, summer, and fall, is that our offensive line might be the best in the country. Not the SEC East, not the SEC as a whole. We might have the best offensive line in the nation because observers have been at practices and camps and clinics, and they're like, these guys are like unbeatable.
I was hoping that you weren't going to talk about that, but here we go. Here we go. We're going to talk about it. The offensive line is legit,
I'm just saying.
and the backups on the offensive line are also legit. So here it is, man. Come and stop it. I like this thing. Did you watch the Josh Pate interview of Kirby Smart?
Yeah.
The one he gave at SEC Media Days.
Yeah.
And he said, Coach, now that you know who all you have on the team, and he goes, if you could choose what sort of offensive philosophy you could run, what would you choose regardless of your personnel? And Kirby's answer to that was sort of like he didn't really sidestep the question, but he said, I just want to score points.
Yes,
You know what I mean? And it's so look, forget about the spread or the power game, or what I mean. Forget about all that. Georgia's got the personnel at every position. We have talent on the field. We have depth on the field. We can do whatever we want to do. And what we want to do is score points and keep the other guy from scoring points. And I mean, I know that sounds ridiculously simple,
Mitch,
right?
It's like, what are you talking about, man? You mean in football you want to score more points than the other guy and keep him from scoring as many points as you can? Is that how this works?
That's how this works.
Well, do you care how it gets done, or do you just want?
I don't care.
Okay.
And the thing is, if you want to put 10 blockers on the field and let Stetson run around like Bo Jackson on Tecmo Bowl, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Honestly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Slow down now. Hold up. Ain't nobody Bo Jackson on Tecmo Bowl. You could just close your eyes and hold the remote control out here, the little controller.
Dude, you should have in the 90s, boy. These forearms right here, man. They were monstrous from just tapping.
Got distracted. We got to finish my point. An improved offense. The fairy. Well, I'm gonna stop saying the word narrative when it comes to Georgia. The fairy tale is, man, y'all lost a bunch of dudes on that defense. You're gonna take steps back. I grant you, we will. We're not falling off a cliff, guys. If you're anti-Georgia, if you're one of our opponents, if you're one of our critics, you're going to be in for some disappointment this year, because the best all-around player from last year's defense is still on the team. Watch what I say. I just spent the last 2 hours before I came on, dear listeners, watching highlights. At number 88, Mr. Jalen Carter, he's the best one on the team, and he's back. So
don't forget that we got a linebacker who was the highest rated player in the country his senior year in high school.
I say that right. I say that to say this. We're going to be all right. I won't even argue with you. I'll spot you 14 more points as a season average per game. I'll spot you. I won't even argue. I won't even, if you want to go beyond that, we're going to have a discussion. But I'll give you 14 more points. I'll give it to you. You know where that puts us, Mitch? 24 points a game. There's a lot of teams out there right now that would get on their hands and knees and beg the gods to only be able to give up 24 points a game. Tennessee's one of them. Florida's one of them. I'm just saying. I'll spot you that. So now let's just say that's true. Georgia's giving up 20, 24. Maybe there's a 27 in there. That ain't going to be enough. So then what do you think happens?
I still think we're getting in the 40s to 50s offensively. And so we're giving up a few more points, but we're scoring a few more points. I mean, the thing about last year's team that was so impressive was the point differential. We're scoring 38, we're giving up 10s. That means our differential is 28 points. We are beating our opponents on average by 28 points. That's 4 touchdowns. Do you think we can beat our opponents by 28 points this year? Maybe not.
Maybe.
But you don't have to. You only have to beat them by 1. Right?
Yeah, I'll give you half of that back. I'll give it to you if that makes you feel better about the defense.
Yeah,
the drop off. So I guess we need to talk about our first.
What if we talk about Oregon?
Yeah, our first game.
When we do our picks. And let's start with that. What do you say? What do you say?
We probably need to touch on it now before we get to picks. I was
thinking we could hit that outro right now and then come back with some picks.
Well, damn, you in a hurry. Okay.
It's that time. Let's do it. See you guys in just a second.
We moving tonight.
We're moving tonight. That's right. Hey, welcome back, folks, to the show. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. Look us up, Field of Streams. And this is Mitch and Matt on Behind the Hedges. And we are here to do picks for Week 1. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work like got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be.
Here it goes. All right. First and foremost, where we at? First game. Let's just go ahead and get to it because we were just talking about it. UGA is currently, as of Tuesday night, August the 30th, currently favored by 17 over Oregon.
It was 18.5, what, day or two ago?
Has it come down?
I believe so. 18. Okay. It was 18 or 18.5.
It may move again. I don't know. It may continue to go down. But this is what it is right now, and for all intents and purposes, this is what we're going to go with right here. UGA minus 17. I need to write down our picks here. Me and Matt. Okay. Zip.
Well, what's going to happen, Mitch?
All right, I will. I don't mind talking about this. I think that Bo Nix is obviously Oregon's got a new quarterback situation, and that's Bo Nix. But Oregon's new quarterback situation is Georgia's old situation in that we have dealt with Bo Nix. But this is not something that's going to be new for us. Dan Lanning is the coach. Yeah, and people keep talking about Dan Lanning will be the thing that helps Oregon to figure out, unlock Georgia, whatever. Look, we know him too. Okay, so it's a wash. All right. Oregon lost their talented running backs from those running backs that ran all over Ohio State. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Oregon is not quite as strong offensively in the skill player department, but I will say that their offensive line is quite good. All right, so there's going to be a challenge. Their offensive line versus our defensive front, our unproven defensive front. That's a challenge. All right. Having said that, ain't nobody since Kirby has been in Athens been able to run the ball against Georgia, and that trend is not going to end this week. Oregon will struggle to run the ball. The game will be placed in Bo Nix's hands. And I like that. I like the game being in Bo Nix's hands. I think Georgia will win this game. I think, though, oh man, I'm going back and forth. If this were 16 points, I would lay them. But I think because it's 17, I think I'm willing. I think I'm going to pick Oregon and take the points, but Georgia wins. So I think the margin will be less than 17.
You don't think they'll beat Oregon by 17?
I don't.
Why?
Well, I think it's going to, last year in the first game, we struggled with Clemson like that. And I don't think that Oregon's as bad as Clemson, but I think a game like Oregon scores 3 times, for example. Let's say they score 21 points. All right. In order to beat them by 17, we're going to have to score 38. Can we score 38? Sure. But I think a score more like 35 to 21 is more feasible. Maybe if we score 38, they score 24. It's just hard to cover that number with a team like Oregon. So I'm going to go ahead and take Oregon, and I need all 17 points though. I think Georgia could win by 16. But I'm going to need Oregon in the points.
Well, it wasn't hard for Utah to do last year, so I know we're better than Utah last year, this year, and probably going to be for the next 10 or 12 years. I just don't know how we can sit there and say we've got this new and improved offense 3 minutes ago, and now all of a sudden we can't even beat Oregon by 17. I'm going to have to say I disagree with you, sir. I think we're going to beat Oregon. I think they're going to give us fits until about the middle of the third quarter. Then you'll see the wheels come off because they don't have the depth to match up. It's not that they're starting 22 and their coaching staff can't match up. It's going to be the same thing everybody fell victim to last year, including Alabama in the national championship game. By the time we get There's like 7.5 minutes left in the third. You start to see dudes doing the spaghetti walk back to the sideline, and our guys are still fresh. And that's going to translate into the majority of them 17 points. You'll see some kind of flurry, either early that they can't catch up to, or late after they're just left in the dust. I'm picking UGA, and I'll give you all of them points and probably some more.
Damn. Hey, I hope you're right. I mean, I really honestly do. I'm just saying.
Don't try to be David Pollocking up in here. I ain't trying to take you seriously. I want to see your support for the Dogs. Make me start having to call you DP.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Here we go. Next one up. Utah versus Florida. When is this? This is a 7:00 game. Late. It's the night game.
It's right after in the swamp. Yeah. They have a home and home. Florida goes out there in 23.
Are you surprised that this spread is only 3?
No, I'm not. I've been all over the map with this game too. I was a coin toss about a week ago. That's the respect that some teams garner when they're at home. This would be the same if it was in Death Valley.
Okay.
If like rankings were switched in Bizarro world and Alabama was unranked and Utah went to Bryant Denny, it'd be something like this.
Okay.
This is just there's people who don't think Utah's going to be able to come into Gainesville at this time of the year, being where they're from, and keep up from a conditioning standpoint. I think they've got some size issues on the offensive line. I think from a raw talent standpoint, from an athletic standpoint, they're behind Florida, but every other box they check. We don't know. We don't know how they're coached at Florida yet. We don't know how they're going to be schemed yet. We don't know how polished they are yet. We know Utah is all of those things. Well coached, well polished. They are consistent. The team that went and shocked the world last year and beat Ohio State in their backyard, Utah beat that team twice by a significant amount.
Yeah, they did easily.
And that team we're going to beat by a significant amount right before this game gets played. Utah, I think, comes in ranked number 7.
Yeah, that seems right.
Okay. Number 7 in the country, going to Florida, who's unranked, coming off what can only be described as a shit show of a season last year.
Yeah.
With a brand new head coach, fine coach. I'm sure he's going to have success there at Florida. He'll right the ship. But will he do it day one? What do you think?
I think Utah wins. I got Utah laying the 3 points.
In the swamp.
Yep, in the swamp. Yep. I just don't think that Billy Napier's had enough time yet, and I don't think that AR-15 is going to be enough.
You don't think the one-man show is going to get it done?
I don't. No, I don't. It didn't get it done last year when Oregon was the one-man show with that running back. I just don't. I don't see it, man.
It's so interesting. The spread has Utah favored by 3. Mm-hmm. The ESPN FPI says Florida has a 52.1 chance to win. Doing this.
Okay. Does Florida have a 52.1% chance to win, and then they also get 3 points?
It doesn't.
I mean,
predictor
for Matt.
Florida's got a better. Huh?
For you, I mean, like if ESPN says they got a 52% chance to win straight up, on top of that, we're going to give you 3 points. I'm trying to sell you Florida. I got Utah. You want Florida? We can go opposites all the way down the board.
I have Florida winning outright.
Wow. Okay.
In 2023, when they go to Ben Testicle Stadium out in Salt Lake City. But in 2022,
oh man,
this year, Utah's walking in wearing Adidas. But they're going to walk out of Gainesville with a brand new pair of shoes, a brand new belt, and a brand new wallet, all made of freshly skinned gator hide.
Oh, boy.
I think Utah breaks one off, and these, what did Kirby call them? What did Kirby call them in that half?
They undisciplined.
Oh, yeah. Utah's going to break these bitches in their own house.
Okay, fair enough. Here we go. Moving right along. Hey, I wanted to acknowledge some folks over here in the chat. Adoring public wants in on this action. Hey, don't worry, we're going to get the Pick'em game set up this week. So go to Facebook and like Field of Streams on Facebook, and we will have a Pick'em game that you can play along with us. And our picks will be. I guess I could put our picks on there as well, just to remind everybody. Nah, screw them. They're gonna have to watch the video. And then Mikey says we want in on the picks. Need a link. You're gonna get it this week, so stay tuned to the channel. We didn't want to bring on a guest tonight and have this thing go on for hours and hours and hours. Maybe someday soon we'll have a free for all stream. But tonight wanted to be me and Matt. We invited our Gator pal on to talk about that, and obviously he can't figure out how to work electricity down there in Florida.
He knowed what's coming. He knows what's coming when Utah's like Ric Flair. We're having a hard time keeping these alligators down. Woo! They're gonna be saying that in Salt Lake City all night long, and then just a little bit longer.
So here we got a top 5 matchup, man. Ohio State and Notre Dame, and
huge. If you're
this one is
large fan, this is huge.
Yep. Number 2 versus number 5.
Yeah.
And number 2 is somehow favored by 17. So is that's
that CJ Stroud potion?
Yeah, is that too many points?
I don't know, man. You don't think we can beat Oregon by 17, but you gonna tell me that Ohio State can whoop Notre Dame by 17?
I don't know if what is Oregon ranked right now? They
11.
Are they 11th? So this is number 3 versus number 11.
Yeah. No. This game is number 2 and 5, right?
What I'm saying is this week is number 3 versus 11 is a 17-point spread, and number 2 versus 5 is a 17-point spread also.
That's that CJ Stroud juju, baby.
Well, I hear you. I think Notre Dame's a very solid football team. I don't see them we've played them 2 times since Kirby's been there, and neither times were they a pushover. We survived against them a couple of times, but we survived, and I don't see a team just grabbing Notre Dame and shaking them around. I don't see that happening. Especially this Ohio State team who just did not impress me defensively last year. Now, offensively, they're going to score a bunch of points, but defensively, they haven't really. I'm not sold. They got a massive offense. I'm not sold on the defense yet. Maybe I'm wrong, but I ain't sold yet. So I see Ohio State winning this game, but not covering that spread. So I'm willing to take Notre Dame with those points.
Notre Dame brought this on themselves after 3 decades of fail sauce at every level, despite the love from the media, despite being propped up here and there by everybody and their grandmother. I think it finally caught up with them. That's why you're seeing a spread like this, mixed with the fact that, of course, C.J. Stroud has been anointed the Heisman Trophy winner already, depending on who you're listening to. Ohio State has already been anointed a playoff contender, possible national champion already. A culmination of those things is why you see a 17-point spread when it's the number 2 ranked team versus number 5 team.
Yeah.
Well, how much respect do you get if you're number 5 with a spread like this? It is in the horseshoe. I get it, but that didn't mean nothing last year when the old Ducks rolled in there and tore the ass out the frame.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
So I'm going to say I think Ohio State will defend their turf and win. But I don't think they're going to do it by 17 points neither.
So we finally agree on something.
Take Notre Dame and the points on that.
I honestly think that Ohio State wins by 10.
What if Notre Dame wins that game somehow, though, dude? What if they do?
Fine by me. Yeah, I ain't gonna lose any sleep at all about it.
Okay.
But here we go.
Yeah, I had to do this one.
It's an interesting game.
Criminals versus coon asses. I'm gonna name it that one.
Okay.
Sorry, some of them are bitches, both of them. Can't you feel the love? I know you love both of these squads, Mitch, like me.
I'm ambivalent about LSU mostly, but Florida State can burn as far as I'm concerned. I don't have any love at all for them. I do think, of course, they just haven't been worth thinking about for so long. Florida State, and it's odd. Here we go. So they won a game this past week against Duquesne over Duquesne, and They did not cover. I think it's worth noting that they did not cover. They were favored 41.5 over Duquesne,
It
and they
was
beat them
close.
47-7. It was a
That was
40-point
close.
win. I just want to say they did not cover against Duquesne. So there you go. They scored a lot of points though, and they actually looked pretty good, especially at the start of the game. Florida State looked pretty good against a nothing team. Now, LSU has been, I don't want to say it. Do I want to say it? Not very good these past couple years. Right? They have not been a cohesive. They have been a mess, is what they've been. They've been all over the place. Sometimes you watch them play. They've had some players: Eli Riggs, Damon Clark, Keyshawn Boutte. I mean, you name it. They've had players, but they just can't seem to put it all together at the same time and then just dominate. Those guys will flash here and there, and then they'll, they give up points, they give up yards. They don't execute or whatever. So, but they do have Brian Kelly now. So this is going to tell the tale, right? This is a good way to start for Brian Kelly. We'll start him with a team like Florida State, who's are they on the rise? I don't know. They beat Duquesne, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that Brian Kelly has them ready to go, or?
I'm gonna say this. I just said a minute ago about maybe Oregon, or maybe it was Oregon, or no, it was Utah. Oh, I just said it. If this was in Death Valley, you'd see a bigger spread. And here we are, FSU, which is FSU is a nothing burger at this point in time, going to Death Valley, and they're only spotting 3. That's the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So either everyone else is in wait and see mode with LSU and Brian Kelly. I think he's going to bring some consistency to a program that was very, I don't want to say Wild West, but they were not tight. Okay, they were not buttoned up tightly.
Mm-hmm.
LSU. I think he's going to change that. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to look like. It's best that we don't ever know. It's best that they stay asleep. We've talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
LSU is not that team that you want to find the right coach at the right time, because they already got the dudes. Urban Meyer's on film saying of all the teams he played and all the moments he had as an SEC coach, LSU were the scariest dudes getting off the bus. You just look around like, how the hell are we going to block that guy right there? I've got dudes. I've got dudes who won a natty, and we're scared of that guy from LSU.
Sure.
Because he's just that badass looking. They've got, and that's LSU in a nutshell. You don't want them to wake up and go, "Oh, me play football good." You don't want that. You want LSU to be like, "Go on down there, go man, and that's all you want them to do.
Yeah.
But I guess based on what the bookmakers are giving them, they just don't know. Typically in Death Valley, with a team like FSU, I'd expect to see a 17-point spread. But, there is a miasma around that program in Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that plays a little into it. Do you think LSU can't beat the Criminals by more than 3?
Oh, I don't know. What do you think? I want to hear what you think first.
I think they can, and I think Brian Kelly's going to make a little bit of a statement here.
Okay. Oh, you think? All right. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. So I'm going to say this then. I don't know. I don't know the answer, but I have a theory, and I'm going to test it. My theory is this. Talking to a buddy of mine on Twitter this week, old high school football buddy. Shout out to Andy. He said that teams gel the most between week 1 and week 2. So Florida State having a chance to get out there and shake their sillies out last week is going to help them moving into week 2. Now LSU hasn't had that opportunity yet, and they got a new coach, and who knows what that's going to look like. All right. But FSU knows what they can do, and they feel a little loose and got a little lather worked up in them. So it's a tight 3 points ain't much. I'm going to gamble. I'm going to pick Florida State in the upset.
To win outright.
Yeah, Florida State's going to win. Yep.
I haven't given my official prediction. I picked this one because it was so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can you imagine this game, 20 years ago?
Oh, God, yeah.
In the 90s? Back when Death Valley meant something? Like,
yeah.
Death
back when Tallahassee meant something.
Yeah, but Death Valley still means something, but I mean, this is one of those, like, at one point in time, this would have been a dream match. This would have been this would have been top of the card for the weekend. And now it's just kind of, it's interesting. That's why I picked it. Nah, I'm gonna go with the Tigers. Too much,
Okay.
just
Fair
on
enough.
just on that voodoo. You've seen it. We've experienced it. That voodoo magic, they can work.
I told you it's a gamble. It's a
I
gamble.
think Brian Kelly is going to have more success than Mike Norvell, and so as an extension of that, I think Brian Kelly is going to get his first win.
Okay.
Against the Florida State Seminoles.
Okay. Last one of the week. We're going to cut this thing off. Arkansas is favored by 6 over Cincinnati.
Don't take them light, Hogs. I know y'all are flirting with that girl named Hope. Tennessee got her. Well, she's riding in his car. Y'all flirting with her though on the side. I believe in you. Don't take these boys light. I don't care what they lost. I don't care how different they look. Cincinnati and Fickle will humble you. They almost humbled us.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here to tell you they're for real. I think Arkansas will win this game. I'm gonna take Arkansas, but the warning is, Hog fans, don't go out there beating your chest, because Cincy's like the new Boise State. They're the new, anytime, anywhere. They're sort of like that Central Florida team. They're not going to be afraid of you and your big ass offensive line and your big ass quarterback. They don't care. It don't matter to them.
That is a big ass quarterback, though. No doubt.
They're not going to care about that, though.
Listen, I'm going to say it like this. The way you deliver that, hey, Arky, don't beat your chest, that's just the thing. I don't think Arky's beaten their chest yet. I don't think that Arky has. I feel like that they feel like they haven't arrived yet. But they also feel like
they're flirting with Hope, Mitch.
Right.
They haven't invited Hope to sit in the front seat of the Camaro like Tennessee boys have.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna look real different when you pull in, though. The doors open, she's gone. You're missing $5 out your pocket. Trust me, we know.
Or when Arkansas opens up the car door and it says to Tennessee, "I think you should take your hands off the lady."
Yeah. Don't go that route. Just
okay. I am going to deviate slightly from your pick, and that is, I think that Arkansas is going to get absolutely sideways on Cincinnati. I think they're going to smear them, and I am a Cincy fan. I'm a Luke Fickell fan, and I think that team's here to stay, and that they're going to do good things. But I think that this Arkansas team is special, and I do believe that people who don't know Hasselwood. Hey, those people who don't know Hazelwood's name are going to learn it. People want to talk about, they lost Treylon Burks, and they did. They lost Burks, and what a player he was, right? But they're back. That defense is a little bit more experienced this year, and they got that big old Sherman tank for a quarterback. They got some new receivers. That doesn't mean they have some bad receivers. They got some good looking players, and they also have Amir Speed, a former Georgia Bulldog, to tackle people.
I think Arkansas can be special this year too.
It wasn't an Amir Speed, was it? It was Latavius Brini.
I'm exercising some caution here, just with Cincinnati, because Cincinnati don't care about nothing you just said. You've seen Cincinnati go out there, and I mean, Bama beat them in the playoff, but it was like a root canal. Like, that game was just tough to watch, because Cincinnati you knew they were beat, but they would not die.
Yeah,
they won't die. Remember the game that we played with them? It was down to the wire.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying. Yes, I think Arkansas is going to win this game, but y'all need to make sure you have Tums and some Lisinopril for your blood pressure, and make sure you probably throw back a few brewskis just to take the edge off before you play Luke Fickell and his boys, because they're going to give you something.
Hey man, we got 5 picks locked in. It is Tuesday. We got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then and guess what? We got games on Thursday. Day after tomorrow, we got games. We can watch the Backyard Brawl, and we can watch Tennessee and Ball State.
I'm glad you said that. I want to talk before we leave about how fickle and weird Wheels of Fate can be.
Let's hear
Backyard Brawl, Pitt versus West Virginia. You will see JT Daniels versus Keaton Slovis, both of whom used to be enrolled and play for the USC Trojans in Los Angeles. JT went down with that injury. Keaton Slovis took his job. JT transferred to Georgia. Then Keaton Slovis went down with injury. And then they brought in Caleb Williams, and he transferred to Pitt to take over for Kenny Pickett. And JT got tired of Kirby shenanigans and went to West Virginia. So now in what is a pretty spirited rivalry, you will see these two former teammates.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of drama about their situation too.
Yeah.
Button heads.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
The weird wheels of fate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The other weird wheels of fate is Tennessee is relegated to playing on a Thursday night.
Oh, man. You had to say,
I think we'll hang 20.
What?
All right, I'm going to say this. Because Dren's had to suffer through this for a whole year.
Oh, you're not going to make me hang it up.
No. Keep it. I think this year they have a good chance of hanging 20. But I don't think 20 is going to be enough. We'll get to that later in the season.
I'll edit it and just make his voice say, "You think? I think we'll hang 40."
Okay, and then we'll have a new meme. We'll have a new clip to hit him with. Are we getting ready to go?
Yeah, we're done. Whenever you want.
Hold on, then. Before we go, hot take, Mitch. Does Georgia repeat as national champions? Damn, you're taking too long.
I'm taking too long. I don't think so. Not this year.
Me neither. But we didn't really think it was going to happen last year neither, did we?
Yeah. I will say this. If you don't bring your A game with you and pack a lunch, it could happen. Georgia ain't going to lay down for anybody, all right? But I think this might be Bama this year. We'll talk more on week 12 about that, all right?
We're fresh out of week 0, man. We got time to marinate.
Yeah.
I will say this, as far as a repeat goes, any of you Georgia fans listening, good or not, great or not, elite or not, that is historically damn near impossible to do.
Yeah,
so
no kidding.
I said it to open the show, or close to open the show. If you're going to get us, you better get us this year, because 2023 Georgia is going to be hell on wheels. That's all I got to say.
And let's leave it at that. Hey, see y'all next Tuesday. Go Dogs.